Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. This is the How I Became Your Mother podcast, and I am Kalila Black, your host. This podcast is a place where I speak to my future child as if they already exist, and I introduce them to who I am at this moment in time that I am bringing them into fruition. I thought this would be a great love letter to them, as well as a cool way to record my experiences and thoughts. And I'm just glad that y'all here listening to me because I'm gonna keep doing this. Every episode is cathartic and it reminds me of more of who I am. So even if it's just one person listening, two people listening, I'm happy that it's coming out in the ether. And I'm happy that y'all listening. Period. Because that means we chilling and we chatting, and I love chilling and chatting with people. Period. Down to the ground. Okay, so today, this episode is about asking for help. And I wanted to put it under the umbrella of me learning how to be strong. And this is the episode where I feel like I'm more so highlighting my, not shortcomings, but blind spots in the hopes that they help you highlight yours. And also my current listeners, my current friends can keep on holding me accountable. Yeah. Holding me accountable. This is going to be a goofy episode. You hear with the energy I'm on. That's crazy. Either which way, I'm happy to be here. So, your father update. Your father. Okay, listen. There was a point in time last year where I thought black magic, I just didn't feel connected to that part of me. And black magic is the part of me that really is open to receiving male romantic energy. So because I be open to receiving it all the time, they come in the woodworks. They be after me, and I love it. And I thought I lost that part of me because I specifically kind of shut down after my last relationship. But it's back. So I don't know. Now the gentleman with the in the airport, he and I haven't been able to get on the same page as it pertains to communication. So we'll see. But I've been going out on dates. I met this other gentleman who is very charming and super talented. Like, whoa. Which is always, like, my eyes always be, I just love a talented man and a man that is mastering crafts of creativity, because I feel like even if your mental is not heart focused, because it's your practice of speaking with and through your heart, you have a layer of emotional maturity that is so amazing and attractive. And I just be like, yeah. And so and then, I mean, he's hot too. But we also having a little bit of like communication things. I was looking at the chart, and it was interesting too, because we got Venuses that are not really, really aligned for real. And I feel like the love language also can add to the disconnect, even though there's so much I'm already appreciating about him. So we'll see. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. But that it was also this part of my love life that sparked this episode. And the episode about asking for help or being strong is that I'm realizing that in this time of my life where, and I don't want to keep saying that, but I guess I got to say it in order to honor where I'm at right now. Okay. Keep it a buck. Because we're talking about the spark of the episode. That's what we're talking about right now. But by the end, we're going to talk through it together. But the spark of this episode is that I looked at my data, my dating data over the past couple of weeks. And there has been an influx of interest and an influx of people that like, okay, we can see what's teased. And that is so enjoyable, but I realized that I'm still operating in spaces that are in the past, or acting in ways that I thought I exited out of. And one of those ways is not showing my heart in the beginnings of the relationship. And it's crazy because when I'm in a space of consistent, like, stability, I'll say that, stability. And when I'm in a space that's more stable in a way where I know, so much, it's easier for me to share my heart and experience things. But when there's in cycles of instability, ups and downs that are more closer linked together than when you coast up, I was noticing that I wasn't sharing, and furthermore wasn't even giving men opportunity to support me, which felt like contradiction to what I want, which is I would love to be supported. In fact, that's what I'm searching for, is that partner collaborative support. I support you, you support me. That's the whole point of a partner, is that walk alongside, that leaning piece together, that in this togetherness that I am welcoming. And I'm realizing that I know that in order for me to welcome that into my life, if the goal is to have a partner who wants to be there as much as I want him there, in the ways that he wants to be there and that I want him there, then it would help the process go smoother if I was practicing that energy and that practice beforehand, because that's how the laws work. So knowing that there's a piece of me that's still operating, and it's from a space of, once you get past a certain point, then I'll let you in to support, it's still going to perpetuate a distance or the same patterns. And for example, I've posted on social media the GoFundMe. I've posted on my story a lot more about what's going on with me. But the men that I'm dating don't even know what's going on with me, which is going a little interesting. They don't know that I'm having issues with my rent because I'm paying $5,400 extra a month for my mother's care because the healthcare system didn't support me, and that I'm fundraising. They don't know that I'm struggling, and that the reason why they're not getting the softness is because I'm feeling choked and strung tight. And that is interesting that the very people that I'm questioning and inviting / interviewing or / auditioning to be my partner alongside me in this is the very people that I am withholding pertinent information that would assist with the vetting process. And that's because I'm still working through the idea, shame, guilt around requesting support. And we've spoken about this before, I think, in other episodes. And I think it's going to be a consistent theme because I have it coming from a lot of different ways. From one end is giving indoctrination. All the women who's independent, throw your independent woman. She got her own. My mother, my grandmother, they raised me and they was so clear about doing it by yourself, not depending on a man. How like y'all, you know, if you strong enough, you could be by yourself. And now, after growing up and realizing where a lot of that trauma came from, a reason why they didn't trust men, why they didn't see the benefit, glory, and actual like addition to having a man in your life in all of the forms. It's no wonder that I'm not equipped, I'm not practiced in that softness and in that soft space. So as I'm trying to practice, it makes sense that I will fumble the ball. It makes sense that I will fumble the ball, so I'm giving myself grace. And I think me even mentioning it now is also going to add to me cleaning it up because it's something that I've already identified as a point to work at and work through. I think I'm going to share a memory with you so that you could see how it showed up in my life. Let me explain. Okay, so so I had a date, right? And first of all, one of my desires, one of the things that I really care a lot about in dating is chivalry and the experience of being courted, of having a car, having, pick the day, of the romance part, look nice, have effort. Like, I love that. And so what I've learned is to ask for the things that will support that and then see if it'll align, if he wants to do that or not. There's some of those things may not be deal breakers. Some of the other things may be deal breakers, kind of like that. So like one of the deal breakers is that for dates, I prefer to be picked up. I think that it feels romantic. And I want a man who wants to pick me up. That's the kind of man that I want. That's a non-negotiable. I don't want to drive to a date. I don't want to have to be looking for parking at a date. I really like if you pick me up. I would love that. That feels good because then we could talk about the excitement and getting to know it and having a good time, as opposed to, me driving and doing that. It takes me out of my feminine. So that's one. That's a non-negotiable. Typically, the one of the things is like that I like is flowers. That's not a non-negotiable, but that would be something like, can you give me some flowers? Like, I would love to see, first of all, what kind of flowers you pick when you think of me. I love that offering of a gift. I love that token of physical memory because I am a gifts person. I like offerings that are tactical. I think that's the earth sign / Capricorn stellium. I'm about the bread and my bread too. So with that being a non-negotiable, that's me understanding, letting me know, like me being equipped to be like, okay, this is what I'd like, how you feel. But first of all, the man that I was going on a date with didn't really feel like he was up to planning a date. But I wanted to go and I wanted to meet him. He had a small window of time where he was in town. And I was like, okay, I'd like to see like what's going on. But we didn't have the proper conversations for me to even let him know, like, oh, could you arrange an Uber for me for our date? I prefer, like, I don't know. I just didn't ask. And then we wound up I gave him the offering and he went with it. So we chose a spot that I really enjoy. And I looked at it and it was like 0.5 miles. And so I'm like, oh, that's close. Like, I'm going to just walk. And I had on some shoes that were very cute for the date. And that walk was like 19 minutes walking downtown. And furthermore, I've been waiting for this check to hit in order to pay my home health day. We got to the point where I was doing 5 days last week, tired, because I have to take care of her and take care of me for 24 hours each day. And it's very intense. And so it was high stakes. Like, I was stressed out, tears. It was just a lot going on. But, also, like, I was committed to dating. I'm like, I'm going to be open. Like, I even had a phone date with this man after a client call. And I'm like, you don't understand my world is, like, flip side right now. And you're trying to be cute, but you also not, like, it's also, like, layers of mystique that my capacity is like, wait a minute, what's happening again? Like, what do you just say it to me straight? Like, what you want, bro? Like, what you want, bro? Is it giving flued out and smashed up and through? Is it giving, like, what is it giving? Because I could put you in the Anyway, let's come back down. So I had on these shoes and they were hurting me. And I'm like, yo, you could do this. You can manage this. Like, you can, and essentially I'm like, you can experience this pain. Like, you can withstand this pain. You're strong enough to go through this pain. But first of all, just because I can go through this pain, and hold on. So I decided to go through the pain, and instead of calling him and being like, and the other part of it was that I didn't have no money for the cab because my check didn't come through, and I was spending money feeding my mother. I didn't even have money for the $10 cab. And so I was feeling so pop and down for not having that bread when I'm up, when this stuff doesn't happen. I'm like, I'm not about to ask this man for no $10 cab. That sounds mad broke. Like, can you get this $10 cab? And I'm like, since when is it broke? Sis, it's not broke. You actually want that. You wanted that. You just didn't ask. And I also was feeling like, yo, I'm running late. Whole time, I be on time for things. You can't maintain Broadway like for 8 shows a week, doing a certain thing every day without being timely. But that's where it's been crazy, because juggling her and her needs is not on time. So she'll just pop up and be like, oh, I gotta go to the bathroom. I'm like, come on, bro, I have this and this and this schedule. And sometimes she'll so it's things that's been calling over. So I was already feeling like, dag, like, and you late, like you a pop broke whack, just beating myself up, mentally beating myself up. And also while I'm doing that, my feet are burning. I literally got to the restaurant and still never told him. He still don't even know that my feet was like washed. They was nice. They look nice in them sandals. They look real nice. He couldn't see where it was. But feet burning back down. And, not saying nothing. Now, I did ask him for the Uber home, and he did give it to me. He did send me an Uber home. So I'm proud of myself for that. I did ask for that on the date, as opposed to trying to thug out those blisters again. But what I didn't do, that I thought that it was also just like being strong, was I was also withstanding a date that I felt like I already knew we was not aligned because of so many things. And like, I pay attention to like conversation styles too, like how you like to engage with me, because I think about us being around the house and just like how you want to talk. And this man on this date loved to debate. I'm smart, and I also there's times when I like to debate. I don't know that I like to debate. I like to show and enlighten. And there's a large part of me that enjoys being right and showing you that I'm right. So me knowing that it's a date, I'm like, yo, I can withstand this trash, this portion of the date that is boring, which is debating about stuff that you don't care about for the sake, all for being good and not just being like, yo, can we go now? Like, it's clip, because he's clearly he's enamored. He's talking about how fire the date is, and I'm like, the date is fire because I'm turning it on. Like, I'm connecting with whatever you want to talk about. We leaning into it. It's lit. Like, but I'm not inside feeling like, ooh, I want to ask him this. Like, I'm not really feeling inspired. And so it was given like, okay, like, when can we leave, child? And it gave a long date, like 4 hours. And I'm like, that's too long for a first date anyway, because I don't even know you yet. We don't even know if we like each other around that, So the people pleasing and the withstanding, I'm learning is actually not me being strong. Like, just because, like, the strength doesn't come from doing something that you don't like. And this whole sacrifice, hard grit, is such an interesting thing, because I enjoy working in the way that consistent effort, especially aligned effort, can be worked, because it's very easy to not be aligned. So there's a part of me that is primed for work, but I think that it's about focusing where I'm working, and where I should be working is in consistently outputting my creativity, consistently outputting and making my everyday life match my desired life. And the decisions of thugging it out every day is not what I want. So when I have opportunities, which can definitely be in the way that I interview my partners, to see about support, that can definitely be the way in the space that I do that. I'm also really, really versed in and getting more and more versed in receiving and requesting support from my loved ones. And they are showing up in droves. So that area of my life has been working. I have been asking for support in that way. But I wanted to learn, I wanted to talk about being strong in the way that being strong is in the vulnerable. And vulnerable is like, if I'm having it hard, I gotta share that I'm having it hard, so that I could see if you could meet me. I can't hide that and then present a fractured place, a fractured part of me. I can share with you where I am, and if you can meet me there, you can meet me there. I literally told one of them, meet me in 2 to 3 months. Like, I'll get back to you in 2 months. Get back to me. Because in my mind, I'm like, oh, I'll be better by then. So he doesn't deserve to see this parts of me. And it's like, chill, bro. Because your husband, even if this is not going to be an issue anymore, this specific problem is not going to be an issue anymore, the husband is going to see me down bad in some way or another. That's how life works. There's going to be cycles of something. I have to grow and evolve. So there's going to be contrast. So with the contrast, I got to see if we compatible in the ways of dealing with the contrast. So if I happen to be in a season of contrast, I should probably share, so I could see, so if we could see if we compatible in the way to do the thing of the day. Boom. I don't want to do that millennial thing, which is go so hard on one end that it paints this picture like I'm just this. You know, sometimes it feels like our millennials is like, you got to be this, like that, like introvert, extrovert, like you got to be this or that. I don't want to say that because I love that I'm strong and brave. I'm a Gryffindor. Gryffindor are the people that's fighting the dragons. Like, I'm outside. I'm on the leading edge. I'm leading. I'm taking a risk. I love that. I love it. And I can do that while being in a space that is supported by my higher self. And scarcity, hiding, shame, guilt is not a foundation for my higher self. So that can't be a practice while dating on the first couple dates. You doing that? That's no. So what I'm keeping is I'm gonna do more asking, more sharing, more boundaries, more enforcement, more invitations, more honesty, more throat chakra stuff. What I'm leaving is the fact that the other part of this is that I have to realize that doing the new thing is going to be uncomfortable. Doing the new thing is going to be uncomfortable. So waiting for it to feel comfortable to move is also something that I'm leaving. I'm releasing that. And I think that because I'm a master at a couple of things and I continue to see the fruits of that labor, I be feeling a little more comfortable when I'm a master at whatever's happening. So being at the bottom, new, in a space where I'm messing up, in a space where it's like, wait, what's going on, is a little uncomfortable. And so I don't be doing it. And asking these people for things that I'm not used to asking for is uncomfortable on the first date, to be like, yo, actually, I would love for you to plan a date. I'd like for you to look up the restaurants around where I am, pick, ask me what I want to eat, have it delivered to my house around a certain time, set up the theme night of the day, what time it is. I'm going to set the mode up for mine. I'm going to come dressed. I'm going to eat it. And we're going to have a date. Like, we eating together. Like, I want, that sounds like easy, but that'd be hard to ask for sometimes. And then I'm hinting, or I'm like frustrated because he's not thinking of it, or the efforts that he's doing is not landing, because that, like, so I'm burning it, feeling uncomfortable, and having to feel comfortable for me to move. I'm just going to jump and cringe. I'm going to cringe it out. That's the goal. That's the T. Cringe it out. I want to say I'm grateful for my commitment to dating, my commitment for my black magic, because that's been a really large part of my gratitude in the morning. It's like, yo, I'm grateful that my magnetism is loud. I've been, just my inner light and powers are like sharp. All and it's and I think, and my age makes the gap so big. So it'd be YNs and middle-aged men like, what is T? And I'm like, let me choose. Let me see what's T. So I'm grateful that my dating life is a space for personal development, is a space for me to see consciously where I can grow. And I can grow in my honesty, my authenticity. I can grow in my bravery, because I am a Gryffindor. I'm a Gryffindor. We fight. We go towards the fight. We go towards Voldemort. We're going towards him. We're the ones that's fighting. We're in the order. So please don't think that I'm sitting. I'm not. I don't want to be in the mix and on the leading edge, as Abraham would say. I'm just saying I want to work smarter and not harder. A part of that is realizing what's working and what can work even better. And being aligned is also bravery, because of what it takes. So, period. What I want you to remember and to know is that authenticity is always going to be your best bet. And sharing your heart while consistently maintaining your boundaries and your desires is the way to go. You don't have to choose. You don't have to choose boundaries and then now it's time to turn off your heart. Because when you turn off your heart towards other people, it backfires, because your heart is turned off towards yourself, because your heart is supposed to be turned on. It's supposed to be opened up. We're giving of that. That's the power, the joy, the love, the creativity is the source. So that when you turn it off, you also saying, okay, let me step over here. Let me step out of my heart space. Let me close this up. Now, I'm not talking about not having protection, not having discernment with it, but turning it off, blocking it away, especially at just the whim of meeting a new person, is counterproductive. So I want you to remember that your heart is your power. Your love is your power. And sharing your heart, whether you're up or down, is going to help in wherever you are. I also think about that and know that because the fact that you were made with love. Babies come from love. You are a exceptional baby. The way I feel you, the way I've been feeling you since I've known that I've always wanted to be a mom. Always. And the desire of wife and motherhood is so strong that I've always wanted to do it right. I knew early on, quote unquote, and that's I no longer feel that way. But I used to feel like there was a right and a wrong way. Now I know there's a right way for everyone and a wrong way for everyone. And the wrong way for me was at an earlier part of my life. Because I always knew that I wanted to live and then share versus live alongside. It felt like the design is harder. Like when you have babies earlier on without that support, it felt like it was harder to get to where I needed to go. So I didn't want to do that at that time. Plus, I really wanted a partner. I always knew I wanted to be married before children. So that wasn't a big priority for everybody, for a lot of people. So because of how specific I was with you, I know you're going to have that same specificity as me. You're going to choose me. You're going to align with me and your father in the most magical way, the most perfect way. I just thinking about how you look, the timing, the miracle, the experience. I feel it. And I'm so happy to be your mom. So just remember that you were made of love. So you're love. You're love. Love, 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 love. Love, 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 love. Yeah. Okay. Let's get into the soul question. We know what this is. This is me doing 36 questions of love where I answer an increasingly vulnerable question each week. So that y'all can fall in love with me. Chill. Period. And you can fall in love with your mom at this time, because I will be different when we meet, but you know what I mean. Okay. So the question is there something that you've dreamed of doing for a long time? Why haven't you done it? Okay, there's two things that popped up in my head. One is skydiving. And I think I haven't done that because I'm pseudo waiting to do it with my brother. We said we would do it together, yet neither one of us have made the concrete plans to do it. But I'm wondering if I just dig deeper into me, if some of that is fear now, like some of that is like, okay, you ain't done it yet, then maybe, like some of it, or some, I don't know if there's a little fear, because it's still something that I really want to do. I really want to experience that. OD. The other thing is learn how to roller skate. And I think the reason I haven't done that is because I want to be a part. I know it's a skill and it's a lifestyle type thing, and I want to have the capacity. I don't know that I have the capacity to be going every week and really strengthening it. And I had the vision and desire to do it with a man. Like, I'd love to be learning alongside a man, whether he's teaching me or we're both, he knows a little bit and we both learning. Like, I want to do it in that way. So it was also kind of feeling like I can do that with Bae. Because I do like to save experiences for different parts of my life, which is interesting. Like, I know that it's probably going to give cut off my hair when I get either have the baby. I think have the baby, like right after I have the baby, my mommy cut. And I know that I also want to start locks like midlife. It's given that. So I have a certain plan because I'm like, I want to experience that. Like I want to experience this and I want to plan for it. So I'm ready. I want to work towards it. Like I get excited about that. So some of that is that with the like skating because I'm like, oh, we could work on it. We could be those couples that be doing those tricks and we be skating backwards. That has been something that I wanted to do for that long. I just think that is so cool and fun. And skating feels like it's always gonna be there. Like the old people be skating. I'm going to be fit and agile. So I wasn't super rushing. So that is question number 14 for the episode. Boom, gang, gang, gang. Everyone listening, can you let me know you're listening? Can you just send me something to let me know who's listening? If you don't have to, but I would love that. I would love that. And if you, I want you to, my baby, I want you to remember, like I said, I've been planning for you, setting up for you. I'm ready for you. And I'm ready for you in the way that I know that I'm not ready for you. Because with you being an extension of me and your father, I know you're going to burn my forehead back in the best way, in expansion. I know I'm going to be blown away by how I learned through being a mom. And I'm just so excited and can't wait for you. I love you so much. I will see you next week.